What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So a bit of a talk video here, kind of a conversation to be had, something I've been thinking about and something you guys have been commenting about, and I've gotten a few messages about, kind of asking, should I even bother buying a current Z1 Extreme Windows handheld or something similar when a lot of us know how close we are to the Z2 Extreme and AI Z2 Extreme devices, including that Xbox handheld. All this should be coming out between September and December, at least 3 devices. So I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit and address it here because as I'm wrapping up my review here for the Legion Go S SteamOS Z1 Extreme model, and we're getting a little bit later into the time since its launch and since its pre-orders in April, starting to think more about those future devices that are coming in. This being priced at $830 makes it pretty expensive, and this device, among others, if not on sale, kind of hard to recommend, just knowing that we're that close to that next generation. It's kind of like looking at buying an Xbox Series X or a PS5 3 to 5 months, depending on what happens, before the PS6 or the Xbox Series X2 or whatever the case. You may want to save your money and get that newer system and have it longer. But yeah, it's just something to kind of talk about. So let's get into it a little bit more and talk about what the main 3 devices are that we're pretty sure we have coming and why you might want to wait and grab one of those, and maybe why you might not want to. All right, so when we're talking the main 3 brands that I cover here when it comes to the Windows handhelds, and that we can get here in the States through Best Buy and other easy retailers for returns, exchanges, things like that, MSI, Lenovo, and ASUS are kind of the 3 main ones. And ASUS is a big one here, especially for the ROG Ally and Ally X, and of course that upcoming Xbox device. And with those 3 main upcoming devices, they are kind of all 3 redesigned a bit, and they all look pretty good, and they do look like a step forward from their first gen. So like the Legion Go 2 has the more ergonomic controllers. It's supposed to be a little bit better feeling as far as those side buttons are concerned. The controllers are going to be back compat to the other Legion Go as far as we know, and all that. They've made the screen 1200p. They've done things to listen to the community, and it's a step forward and a new design over the original, and that may affect someone's choice there. And it's the same thing with the MSI Claw AMD version, getting a new design and some color choices that may be on the way. When it comes to them, they showed that off not long ago, and I had covered those before. I don't think the green one's going to be available, or the blue one. It was a couple of different ones here. They have the green, the blue, I think a red one, white, black, and some are going to be available, some aren't. Some are going to be region based. So we'll have to see what they do with that, but I could see that being something. It definitely looks different from the MSI Claude 8. And then, of course, that ROG Xbox Ally and Ally X device has those controller type grips and a bit of a thick boy and an interesting looking handheld. I can't wait to get hands on it. It's probably going to be the most ergonomic or more comfortable. Right now, I still think the Steam Deck is one of the most comfortable handhelds. But yeah, I think it's going to be up there for comfort. It's just interesting looking on. So really, even though it may not be a big deciding factor for a lot of people, when it comes to a handheld, the design and the comfort, the look, all that can really play into it. So kind of the design of things is something to look at. We're definitely getting kind of a step forward for all 3 of the main companies. I'm really interested to see what Valve does. Hopefully we get that Steam Deck 2 in 2026. We'll see what happens. I still think it could happen, but I'd be interested to see how much change they really make there for a Steam Deck 2, because they really kind of nailed the design the first time. I know we'd like a bit of a bigger screen, of course, more power, but I'm just talking the aesthetics, the design, the comfort, and all that. So it'll be interesting to see with these devices. They're all kind of a step forward and a change in design, and it's just something to look at if you're looking at the current versions to the ones that are upcoming, if there's anything there that may sway your decision. Certainly not something I can decide for you, but it's definitely a point to bring up. Now, here's what I think is another main point, and that's kind of the pricing. If you're currently shopping for, say, an original Legion Go or a current Legion Go S Z1 Extreme model, which happens to be $50 off at Best Buy right now for their sale currently, but that only lasts a couple of days. It's typically $830. I got mine pre-order for $750. That was the original price, which was a bit better. Then they raised it $80 before launch and made it $830. Same thing with the Legion Go S here, that's $50 off. This is the Z2 Go model that I have a review up on. That's $600. Typically $599, on sale for $549, which is the price I paid when I pre-ordered. Everything has been creeping up, and then of course with the Windows ones here, they do have $50 off for this one as well. But at $850 or $899, it doesn't matter. Any of these 2 white versions here, I just really, when I checked them out, wasn't able to recommend them at all, and especially for the price. And that brings me to kind of the point, unless you're getting a really good deal, like say the Amazon deal, it's still $499 for the original Z1 Extreme Legion Go, that might be worth it, or something like $469 for an Ally, or maybe you find a $500 or $600 Ally X. Certainly better than the $1,000 unavailable Claw 8 still. If you've got a Z1 Extreme, an original one, for a good sale, it may be worth it because you could probably still sell this for more than half what you're going to pay here and get some money to roll into the new handheld. I definitely think paying full price for a Z1 Extreme type Windows handheld now, when we're this close to the Z2 Extremes and AI Z2 Extremes, would make it difficult. But I do think if you can grab a good deal, enjoy it for a few months, and probably sell it or maybe pass it down and grab the next one, then that might work out fine. And I do believe if you're looking at something like the Legion Go 2, it's going to be much more expensive than the original Legion Go anyway, regardless. I'm expecting that one, especially with the OLED screen and everything and the Z2 Extreme, to more be like a $999 to $1199 USD type price device. I think it's going to be up there. The upcoming Xbox Ally X devices, like the black model coming from them, I think is definitely got to come in at either the same $899 price and they drop this down after launch, or maybe it's $999, a little bit more expensive. I don't think Xbox is going to want it to get that high. Maybe they'll subsidize a bit and actually land at $799 to $899. Either way, though, it's going to be pricey when we get into those newer models, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same or more than a current Ally X. And then, of course, the MSI Claw, we have the Intel version. It was $899 when I got it. It's $1,000 now. And when they drop their AMD model, I'm not sure what that's going to do. I know Intel is notoriously more expensive, but I could still see it being, at $1,000, at $999 as well. So the point there is, if you can get something on sale, plus you take into account that most likely all these, at least from the main three companies here, are going to be launching handhelds that are probably more expensive than what they offered before, or maybe in ASUS's case the same, but still $900 is very expensive for a handheld, especially if you're talking like an Xbox handheld. So that's just something to take into account. There's a lot going on with pricing, especially this year. A lot of things have been going up, and so it's just something to think about when you want to drop money now and later, and what kind of deal you're getting there. So definitely look into that. I think if you're going to get an older device that's currently out, try to get it on a really good sale like the Legion Go or an Ally or something like that, and then, like I said, pass it down or sell it and roll that into the upgrade, or just save your money and hold out a few more months. And I think between September, October, November, we're going to start seeing these things land. I think MSI might be more December, January. You know how they are. Their launches are often a bit messy, but they are in there, and they did say they would get it out this year, so we'll see what happens there. And then, of course, something else to take into consideration, especially with the Windows and what's going on now, with that ROG Xbox Ally and Ally X device, they're going to be the first devices to get that Xbox full screen experience, where they're cutting down the resources used. They're not going to be loading up the desktop. You're going to go right into this full screen experience. And it's trying to do something getting closer to like what you see with SteamOS between their game mode and their desktop mode. And this is something we've been asking for, and it's something I've been really excited to see since they announced it, and I can't wait to get hands on. But I'm pretty sure, and so far it looks like, those will be the two devices this year in 2025 that get that operating system. And it would appear that they did say the rest of the systems, all Windows handhelds basically, will be able to get this, but they did say more like sometime next year in 2026. So it kind of remains to be seen how this is going to roll out, which devices will be able to use it, when will it kind of be more widely available. If you're running Windows, can you just use this new operating system, maybe even on desktop and so forth. There's a lot going on here now, seeing Microsoft is really merging Windows and Xbox together, especially for these handhelds. So that's something to take into account. If you're impatient and you really want to get your hands on that experience this year, especially this fall and holiday season, I think the ROG Xbox Ally and Ally X are going to be the devices for those people who want to check that out. I don't like the 7-inch screen size of that device, so that's going to annoy me a little bit. But other than that, I'm actually really excited to get hands on to an Xbox Ally X, see how it feels, see how it games, and all that, and just check out how that new operating system experience is going to work on there, since those are the first devices to get it. So if you're kind of wanting to be right there at the new stuff and check that out, that would probably be the two devices for you, and probably the Ally X version, the black version, would be the way to go there. Besides that, the other devices like the Legion Go 2 and the MSI Claw AMD Z2 Extreme and all that will probably just be running the normal Windows 11 setup until Microsoft then starts rolling out that experience for apparently what will be all Windows handheld devices, even legacy older devices like the Legion Go or go up to the Legion Go 2. So it'll be interesting to see how that works, but it's obviously a partnership with ASUS first, and I'm sure we're not going to see that update roll out too quickly, and I don't think it'll be until into next year. So it's just something else to take into account if you're talking about buying an older existing system or waiting for one of these 3 new ones, or maybe really leaning toward that Xbox handheld if you want the full new experience. But that pretty much will wrap it up. I just wanted to have kind of a discussion, a talk video here. Again, a lot of comments I've seen, some messages, and just my own thoughts now with reviewing Z1 Extreme devices still in 2025 and kind of thinking it's getting really hard to recommend those considering how close we're getting to the new stuff coming out in Z2 Extremes and AI Z2 Extreme and all of that. So yeah, but taking into account the, the designs of these things, what you like aesthetic wise, comfort wise, the pricing, the operating system experience and all that, those kind of things that we talked about, maybe that'll help you kind of decide if you want to buy something now. Definitely do it on sale if you are going to do that, if you can, or if you just want to wait it out. And if you are going to wait it out, do you really want to jump in on that new Windows experience with Xbox and that kind of locks you down to just the ROG Ally? Or do you want to go with something like the Legion Go 2, which I know is also going to be very popular and a lot of people want to get their hands on? But anyways, it's an exciting time in handheld gaming. There's so much stuff going on. I can't wait to kind of move into this next generation of chips and get into a lot of testing and fun stuff with those. So anyways, guys, as always, thanks a lot for coming to check out the video. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.